So you know those shows you watched all the time when you were a little kid, and even though you're an adult and every inkling in your body is telling you that this show you should not like anymore, and yet you kinda do? Well, for me, that show is The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. This show premiered on Disney Channel in 2005 and ran until 2008. It followed two twin boys living in a 5-star hotel due to their single mother working there as a singer. While living there, they get into all sorts of shenanigans along with the hotel owner's daughter London and candy counter girl Maddie, often infuriating the manager Mr. Mosby. This show came out at the perfect time. I had just turned 12 years old, which was how old Zack and Cody were in the first season, and a lot of the hijinks they got into I could either relate to or just appeal to my young mind. However, as the show went on, they did grow more with the audience, and the plot started focusing more on stuff like girls and finding a part-time job, which again, at the time I could relate to, and I think that's why I still enjoy it. It's not just nostalgia, it did have more of a heart to it than some other shows on Disney, and the actors, for as over-the-top as they could be, did have good chemistry, and the writing and direction on the show was usually pretty solid, and it never really went off the rails with the levels of believability. But there were 2 episodes that I just couldn't stand. One was Risk It All because of its bullshit ending, and the other, and the subject of today's review, is French 101 from Season 2. Let's begin. So the French ambassador is staying at the hotel with his daughter Jolie. Zack and Cody notice her, and since she's an attractive female of around the same age, of course Zack wants to hit on her.
Hey, beautiful. I don't always smell like this, unless you like it.
Je ne comprends pas. Je suis désolée.
Yeah, where was this actress born? Yeah, just as I expected. Another bad French accent. Why do these keep coming up in my reviews? Now we start our subplot. Maddie has just returned from a shopping trip with London when her and Esteban hear London screaming outside.
You can't have this purse! It doesn't match your outfit!
Who the hell tries to steal a purse in front of a 5-star hotel? Even at night, that is a stupid idea. Well, when you're dumb, you're likely to be defeated by a dumb person. After Esteban fails to save her, London beats and flips the guy as the police show up out of nowhere.
Wow, you could have gotten really hurt. Lucky this little girl was here to save you.
Who the hell would tell someone who just got assaulted that? Also, she's a teenager. After the one funny joke in the episode, Zack explains how he is going to try and hook up with Jolie, but Cody is very obviously jealous.
Nice try.
Honey, have some confidence. This girl might pick you.
Do you really think so?
What do you care? She'll be going back to France soon anyway. Yeah, that's a big problem for me. Since the whole conflict is based around a completely superficial relationship, it not only feels shallow, but ultimately pointless.
Don't count yourself out before you even try.
But Zack already has dibs.
Okay, look, you can't dib a human being, especially a woman who is your equal in every way.
So does this mean women have more of a right to dib on men? Sexist bitch. Zack acts like a dick, and so Cody leads him to the closet.
Great idea. Mind if I borrow it? Didn't think so.
Seriously, one talk from his mom and it turns Cody into a backstabbing asshole? Back with Esteban, who's feeling really down after being beaten by a man who got beat up by a girl.
But not everyone can be a kung fu champion. Right, Lyndon?
Oh, that's right. It takes strength, coordination, and mental toughosity.
I have all those things. You lost to a purse.
Yeah, he got hit in the head by a big burly man. This isn't really that embarrassing. But no, London flips him by accident and now he's even more humiliated. The whole dude embarrassed because he lost to a girl cliche should have died in 1987. Well, that was a joke.
I want to ask Jolie out. Can you translate for me?
I'd rather lick the inside of a city bus.
But FYI, Zack likes Jolie too.
Your trouble, but he's...
So who's it gonna be? Me or the evil twin?
Neither. I'm an adult who can make his own decisions and your mom's boss, and why the fuck would you want a girlfriend you would need a translator for anyway? Mosby asks if she wants to go dancing with Cody tomorrow, and she immediately says yes. Zack finally gets out and tries to ask her herself.
You, me, dinner, dancing.
J'ai peur.
I'm annoyed. Her dad agrees to let her go, but only if Mosby chaperones. Not sure I would let my teenage daughter, who barely speaks English, go out with a boy in a different country with only adult supervision being the manager of the hotel I checked into yesterday, but whatever. Zach is obviously angry at Cody as him and Mosby leave for the date.
It's so unfair. If Cody hadn't locked me in the closet, I'd be going out with Mosby.
Well, honey, all's fair in love and war.
You're a terrible mother.
Why are you always falling for Cody's sweet and sensitive act?
It's not an act, that's how he is.
But he locked me in a closet. He's vicious, I tell you, vicious.
Actually, that's a fair point. I'm sorry, as much of a dick as he is, I'm totally on Zach's side. Zach calls his friend Bob, and then we go back to the subplot where Esteban is still upset. Oh, boo-hoo, get the fuck over it.
You know, I've never seen Esteban so depressed. There's gotta be a way to rebuild his confidence.
Hey, London, I was just repainting your room and I...
That's it! We'll reenact the purse snatching.
That's a terrible idea and can go bad in several ways. At the club,
Dance, yes?
Wee wee!
Third door on the left.
I am so fucking tired of that joke. Seriously, we need to put a ban on using the French word for yes being misunderstood for piss for at least the next 30 years.
Tell her your eyes are beautiful!
What?
Your eyes are beautiful!
Also, the music stops when someone yells something embarrassing joke. That also needs to be banned. So back in the subplot, Maddie and London have set up a scenario where Arwen will pretend to steal from Maddie while London is upstairs.
Help! Robert! Help! Help! Robert, help! Help me, Esteban!
It's not Arwen.
Who am I fighting?
Esteban! Oh, don't forget to run away!
Yeah, what a shock. I know complaining about the sweet life of Zach and Cody being predictable and having stale jokes seems kind of pointless to most of you, but other episodes at least try to be better than this. And even if they don't, at least they aren't this mean-spirited and annoying. Esteban, of course, defeats him and gets his confidence back. So remember, boys watching, if you ever get beaten up or embarrassed by a girl, just beat someone else up.
Now, are you with me? Okay, but next time you're taking me to a movie. It's not a date!
Homophobic dick. Bob distracts Cody by asking him a chemistry question, and Zach distracts Mosby by dropping ice cubes down his suit. But by the look of it, you'd assume he had squirrels in his pants. And now Zach can dance with Jolie. This girl must be having the weirdest night.
Hey, speaking of which, isn't that him dancing with your girlfriend?
Wow! Dick move, Bob! Cody takes Zach away, but then he gives him some French notes. However, these turn out to be insults, and this pisses Jolie off. This causes a scuffle between the two as Mosby takes them back to the hotel.
But I told the truth, so I am legally in the clear. That's something a master criminal would do. Don't you see? He needs prison.
Again, I'm totally on Zach's side. I mean, yeah, he's an asshole, but he's totally in the right. I mean, maybe if Cody had talked to her first, but no, he had no idea that Cody wanted to go out with her, so yeah, I'm totally with him.
Zach, just this once, couldn't you have let your brother win the girl? And when I say win, I do not mean to suggest the girls are a prize to be possessed.
Yeah.
What is with the weird feminism in this episode?
And what's worse, in sabotaging your brother, you also hurt that poor little girl.
Shut up, Carrie. You have no right to be lecturing someone on hurting others.
You couldn't let me have this one girl?
You didn't even tell me you wanted her, and then you locked me in a closet. Cody starts crying, and so Zach goes to tell the truth to Jolie.
Works every time.
Are you sure I'm not supposed to be siding with Zach? Zach apologizes, but does it too well, and Jolie gives him a kiss.
It's not what it looks like. Well, I'm gonna kick your...
Derriere.
That too!
Ha ha. The two run off in a fight, and Bob comes up and asks her out in French. Given how he sabotaged Zach's plan earlier, I'm guessing he was planning on doing this all along. So was he the villain of this story? Don't ever look at me like that again, Bob. And then we get a dance party ending because there were no loose ends that could have been tied up. I hate this episode. I know most of you won't think this is that bad, and yeah, it isn't the worst, but I couldn't stand it. Even as a kid, it's boring, unfunny, mean-spirited, and just makes Cody feel like the biggest asshole. The subplot is forced and about 20 years out of date, and that's not what the show was. It was cheesy and obviously aimed more at kids, but it was usually better than this. But next week we go to its spin-off for one of the dumbest Disney sitcom episodes of all time. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.